directions that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Coffee is steaming, oh boy how I'm dreaming, while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. My baby likes bacon, and that's what I'm making, while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. Our life has been so nice and chummy, right from the start. When I want her tummy, I want her heart. My baby is happy, no wonder I'm happy, while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love.
Morning from the front porch of the 1925 bungalow. I'm Scott. Thanks for having breakfast with me. Well, it's early in the morning and I'm not sure how much sunlight we're going to get today, but I'm out on the front porch because can you believe we went from 2 degrees 4 or 5 days ago to up into the low 60s today? I might have to drive down the shore. It's only an hour away. Now, last night was a live sale. You might have been there, you might not have been there. I was gonna cut off at 10, but it went until almost 11. We were having a good time. And this morning it's time to get the invoices out. But I'm up this morning and I have my little breakfast here today of lightly scrambled eggs with salt and pepper and a little bit of the Parmesan cheese on it. And some apple slices and peanut butter. Now, sometimes it could be a yogurt or two. Sometimes it could be a breakfast bar. Sometimes I do turkey bacon. But this is what I felt like doing today with some percolated coffee. So I shall finish this, monitor what the squirrels are doing. I have a squirrel that seems to enjoy annoying me from this tree right here next to my porch. And then I've got to get the invoices out. So I'll work on that and then I'll come back and let you know what else is happening. What's going on in your life, in your day, your work day. This is January the 3rd, Tuesday morning, and it's back to work. Oh, this is going to be so good. Been waiting for that. Well, breakfast is over and it is time to get to work. And if the supervisor were still here, I would have started about 30 minutes ago. Now, the first thing that I do is, after the live sale, is I take my chicken scratch notes, which are horrible looking, as you can see, on two sides. I know, there's spreadsheets and, what's that stuff you put up on a screen, PowerPoint and all this stuff. But I just tend to be one of these old-fashioned people, I guess. I grab a piece of paper. I even ran out of room on my secret white paper and grabbed the back of a Christmas card envelope. So what I do next is on my laptop, which is right here, I then actually go in and physically type up the names, the item that sold, and what it sold for. And then I print that out and I keep that for my permanent records. I keep a lot of records for taxes. Oh boy, taxes is a whole nother thing. And we're not going to talk about that today. But I shall sit here and work on my invoices. That'll take a while, and then I'll go inside and get all the inventory. I'll show you that I left it exactly where it was last night. The inventory will then be taken down into the basement. I'll double check all of it, and then I'll start going through and making up boxes. I don't think I have enough packing materials, so I've got to go out and get some. And then it's the process of wrapping everything in bubble wrap and in paper, putting the boxes together and getting it all shipped out. That takes quite a bit of time. It'll be a full day's work to do the invoicing and all of the boxing and packing and printing out the labels and everything. Probably even more than a day because I'll stop and do little things here and there. So I'll come back again and show you my progress in just a bit. What on earth is that mess? Well, I thought you might like to see behind the scenes, and this is behind the scenes. Now that's the way I left my dining room at 11 o'clock last night when the live sale ended, just to kind of show you the way it goes. So most of these items, now there are a few items on this table that I didn't have time to sell last night, but the next thing I do is I transfer all of this down to the basement. All those different piles of things. And then this is how the camera is set up on this doohickey thing here. And the camera is hooked to this, and then the laptop sits right here. So I'm operating all of that. And then all the extension cords go down here. Look at these beautiful pine floors. Aren't they wonderful? And then I have one leaf set up on the table here, which I need. I don't have the other side set up. And that's the china closet back there. And so that's the chair I sit in. So that's where I'm broadcasting from, to give you a little bit of a insider's view. Okay, so let's get this stuff downstairs and then we'll see what else is next. Okie dokie. Everything is all typed up. Doesn't look like much, does it? That's about maybe 26 items. And yeah, when you condense it all down and just sort of type it up like that, it certainly don't look like much. Let's get back to what it is I need to do. I just do want to thank everybody who participated last night and came to the live sale. Remember, there's going to be 2 every month, so I'll see you again in the next live sale, the 3rd Monday night of this month. Now it's invoice typing time. Well, I'm still out here on this front porch working on invoices. And it didn't quite warm up as much as I was hoping that it would. The sun did not come out today. But that little squirrel over there is keeping me company, and I'm keeping my eye on him. And I'm just out here still working on these invoices. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. We had a lot of new folks in the live sale last night, which was fantastic. I am so excited that folks are participating, and buying and selling is a lot of fun. There's a learning curve when you're new to a live sale. And so, yeah, I'm just working on all these emails, but just reminding everyone, and I think what I might do is make an instructional video and make everybody watch it. Sort of just to, and that might be helpful, I think, to some folks who aren't really sure what to do after you win an item. So in terms of what the information is that I actually need, which is really just your name, your shipping address, your PayPal email address. I think that's all I need. Yeah, you know, and your name. So without that information, it takes longer to get everything together. But I'm working on it. We're getting it figured out. And I should be able to have everything finished in the next hour or so, I hope. So then I can start packing. But I think it's time for lunch. Let's go have some hot soup. Isn't hot soup wonderful? You know, even if it comes from a can. You know, in case you think I look pitiful, I'll tell you what I have on my hands in a minute. And you know, as you know, it's gonna take me a while to get this kitchen the way I want it. So there's no stove, and I'm only using an old refrigerator down in the basement, which is fine. But I'm able to do a tremendous amount with the little hot plate that you saw me cook the eggs on this morning. Oh, there comes some sun. And then I've got my air fryer. And then I've got a microwave oven, and I've got that little thing that heats up hot water, and I have a percolator, and I have my toaster and my electric frying pan, so I'm fine. You know, the only thing I can't really do is bake. But it'll come. So what else was I gonna tell you? I'll put this soup down for a minute. I'm eating it out of a Sebring 1930s, I forget there's not a name to that, there's just a number to that pattern, and I forget what it is. My grandmother made these, and she made, I don't know, probably hundreds of these. She would just sit in her chair as an old lady and crochet these things. And I didn't alter them. This is the way she made them. So there's a hole for your thumb, and it's open on that end and on that end. And it's just a nice little thing, because she was always doing craft work and whatnot. And you can just wear these little things and your hands are free. Now, I remember when I was in the marching band, we would cut the fingers out of our gloves so we could operate our instruments when it was cold. And but this is kind of the same thing. So I've got black, I've got blue. I think I've got maybe 3 pairs of these, sets of these that she made. And yeah, that's what I've got on. It's actually not freezing out here, but it's overcast, it's raining, and it's still, you know, the porch is cold. So, but it's nice to be out here anyway. Well, I've been rambling a lot, but you've seen a little bit of what today is like. We are way up into the afternoon now. I'm going to finish these little pretzel sticks from last night, and I've got some root beer in that. My Hazel Atlas Ritz Blue mug or tumbler. What I'm going to do now is double check a few more emails, double check a few more invoices. I'm waiting for about maybe 6 or 7 people to get back to me with information that was not in their original email. So if you're watching, if you won something last night and you're watching this the night after, just check your email. I might still need something from you, like your PayPal shipping address, your PayPal email address, or maybe you didn't give me your shipping address, that kind of thing. And then I've got to go out and get some packing supplies. So I'm probably going to get a little late afternoon thrifting in as well. Sometimes I score really big at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's do it after I finish my soup. What are you guys noshing on for lunch today? Look at that, isn't that good? I mean, doesn't it look good? I won't smack. See, you didn't hear anything. Okay, I'm parked outside of the Goodwill. Time to go in and shop. Now, if my lip looks funny, it's because I picked up my horn and practiced for about 15 minutes before I left. Trying to get this embouchure back again. Well, there's just not much to be seen today. Here I am down the aisle of cheap florist vases. Well, you never know what you're going to find on that rack, so I always give it quite a look. Where am I now? I'm in a Goodwill in Audubon, New Jersey. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I never really have much luck with collector plates. 1988, nah. You know, those old Norman Rockwell plates, how many of your relatives paid $19.99 a month? And they would get one plate in the mail with papers. And now nobody wants them. No. A big old bicentennial ashtray. I can't do much with that. There's a decapitated Minnie Mouse. Craft projects. Didn't find anything in the picture frames today either. Nope. Okay. Ooh. Now look at that. Okay, let's talk about it. You recognize mid-century. Now, the cushions look 1950s and 60s, and they're pretty faded. They may be original, or the cushions may have been redone. The furniture itself probably dates to the 1940s or even into the early 50s. And I love this because you can actually take the two pieces, and you already knew this, and you can have a long sofa, or, well, let's look at it, bamboo lounge set. I think it was $89. Yeah, actually it doesn't look too bad in the video, but the backs of the cushions are really faded. You can see there it's well made, and it has that classic sort of mid-century front porch look. Now obviously there we've got some 60s fabric, and it's a replacement. It's held in with thumbtacks. The original, there's the old cotton fabric underneath. You see that? Okay, so this is what's leading me to believe that it got reupholstered in the 60s. This is a snapshot that I took of the paper label underneath. And I found out that the Ward Wickerware Company in Philly started at about 1932. Now, the later labels, the labels after the war, were paper. But the earlier labels, which we're going to look at in just a second, are stamped metal, embossed metal. And there we go there, you can see. So that would be a label that's from the 1930s. So I think the example that's in the store here is something that was made definitely after the war. We're going to go back in a minute. But I was able to find the matching chairs, did a little research, and here are the matching chairs, and they've got green vinyl on these. Hard to tell whether that's original or not. Don't really know. But back to the sofa in the store, I decided to say no, and I guess I'll tell you why a little bit later. 1930s dining room chairs there, about $10 each. Yeah, that bamboo furniture is sweet. It's just going to be a little too big for my porch. That's nice, what I think. All right, after a nice 30-minute run on the treadmill, I'm going to zip on home as night is falling. And I'm going to show you what I did find at the thrift shop today. The only thing I ended up buying today are these 3 pendant light glass shades. Now, I've been fooling around with antique lighting for a long time. These kind of have a 1910, 15 arts and crafts look to them, but something in the back of my head says they're new. They might even be something from, you know, the Tuscan kitchen rage. I don't know, when was that? Late 90s, early 2000s? There's just something about the proportion that seems wrong. I really don't know. I could be fooled by this. These, you know, unless they're art glass shades, you know, they're never signed up here. Again, unless it's an art glass shade. And these, I just like the look of them. And I've got an antique light fixture down in the basement that these are going to really look nice on, even if they're not old. So let's take them down in the basement and put them on a 1920s light fixture and see what they look like. Yeah, well, what did I pay? $2.50 each. $2.50 each. Let's go see what they look like. Right, down in the basement, as you can see, this is a light fixture here I'm going to be using in one of the bedrooms, and those are drapery fold, authentic shades from the 20s. Those are as well. And all of the shades that you see here are also antique light shades. These go into the 1930s with this crackle finish on there. Reminds you of the L.E. Smith crackle glass. This is also one that you would see into the 1930s. Oops, that one right there with the painted flowers on it is very typical of the 20s. And let's see, you can't really see this, but here's one that's circa 1920, 1915. And then, you know, I've got these that are going to go on my light fixture upstairs. And there are some more right there. And these are all antique shades, of which I have no doubt. I think I'm blocking the light. So these are the art glass shades here in this one. This is the only one that I have that's signed Cuisal. The feather pulled iridescent shade there, that's an expensive shade right there. And they were expensive when they were new. This is also a nice one, and this one is Art Deco. So the shades that I bought today, there's one you can see, and then the others are down there. So the verdict is still out on those. Let's look at some more. Here are some that are painted shades, and those are old, 1920s. And then more fixtures there. And then I've got that pan fixture there. I'm actually going to use the 3 shades that I just bought. I'll put them on that and let you see what they look like. This fixture here is for light bulbs, for hanging bulbs, of course. That's the way that hangs. And then this one up here in rough shape is for two shades. And there's more than that. If I go to my mother's basement, there's a ton more over there. Let's see what those shades look like on that fixture. Let's do it. Well, I have to say, I think the shades look super duper Superman on that light fixture. They still seem to be just, I don't know. You know, it's either the real thing or it's not, and I'm not sure. They seem a little bit out of proportion. Now, you know what? Maybe that's just my imagination. Let's look. This I know to be from about 1915, and that's just as long as that one. I don't know, just for some reason my eye thought that the size was a little bit off. But you know what? They're either from circa arts and crafts era, we'll go as late as 1920, or they were something made in the 90s, and I'm stumped on them. But what do you guys think? Now, I'm just using, you know, just my experience, but you don't always get it right. I mean, there's a lot of times I don't get it right. They have the custard color, and they're nice and embossed. Let's see. I just think it's very handsome. I think they look great on that fixture. And that's about all I can say. So, all right, well, I still have Christmas decorations to put away, as you can see. And my day is not over yet. It's about 5:30. And let me get myself upstairs and see what's next.